Okay, good day everyone. Today, our lesson for today is a measure of dispersion. First, let's know our objectives. Number 1, define the measurement of the dispersion. Number 2, calculate the range, interqual the range, variance, and deviation of distribution. And number 3, differentiate the measurements of dispersion standard. First, let's know the measurement of dispersion. A measure of variability or dispersion of a data set of data is a number that conveys the idea of spread for the following data set. So, i-measure natin yung mga spend of data that we must introduce the range, the standard deviation, and the variance. And as for the range measures the distance between the largest and the smallest value, and as such, given an idea of the spread of the dataset. However, the range does not use the concept of deviation. It is affected by outliers but does not consider all values in the dataset. Thus, it is not a very useful measure of variability. And here is the formula on how we get the range. Hanapin muna natin yung highest value and yung lowest value, and then isasubtract natin siya. And this is the example of the range. Let's read the problem. Find the range of the number of ones dispensed by machine 1 and machine 2. And sa machine 1, hanapin lang natin yung smallest and yung highest. And then, susubtract natin silang dalawa. Yung highest natin is yung 0.26. And then, susubtract natin siya sa 0.5. Tapos, makukuha na natin is yung 0.21 ohms. And as for machine 2 naman, hanapin din natin yung highest and yung lowest. Yung highest natin is 0.23, and then sasubtract natin siya sa lowest value, which is yung 0.07, and then yung makukuha natin is 0.16 ohms. And sa variance naman, the variance for the given data set is the square of the standard deviation of a data variance of the population. And here is the formula for the popular and sample variance. Sa standard deviation naman, the standard deviation is a measure of how spread out number are. This is the symbol, the Greek letter sigma. And we were going to use the formula for sample and population. And here is the procedure for computing the standard deviation. Number 1, determine the mean of the n number. And number 2, for each number, calculate the deviation or difference between the number and the mean of the numbers. Number 3, calculate the square of each deviation and find the sum of this squared deviation. And number 4, if the data is a popular, then divide the sum by the n. If the data is a sample, then divide the sum by n minus 1. And for number 5, find the square root of the quotient in step 4. Here is the example on how to find the variance and the standard deviation. Again, we read the problem first. The following number were obtained by sampling a population 2, 4, 7, 12, and 5. Yung 2, 4, 7, 12, and 5, i-divide natin kung ilan sila. Bilangin natin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sila. So, i-add muna natin yung 2, 4, 7, 12, and 5. And then, i-divide na natin siya sa 5. Which is nakuha natin sa pag-add is yung 40, and then divide sa 5, and then yung total na makukuha natin is 8. Sa step 2 naman, we were going to use the formula to get the answer. Again, i-minus natin yung nakuha, yung mga given numbers, which is yung 2, 4, 7, 12, and 15, sa nakuha nating mean. Tapos, i-square root natin siya sa 2, and then, i-minus natin siya sa 4. Ang makukuha natin sa overall na pag square root natin and pag minus is 118, and then divide na natin siya sa 4. Ang makukuha natin is 29.5. Gagamitin na natin yung standard deviation formula. Again, i-square root lang natin yung nakuha nating answer earlier sa step 4. So, pagtapos natin square root, makikita natin yung answer, which is yung 5.43. Here is another example for standard deviation. First, let's read our problem. A sample of 8 college students was asked how many hours they spent studying for their final exam in a notorious difficult subject. Their response were 4, 5, 8, 6, 4, 10, 7, 6. Calculate the sample variance and the sample standard deviation of a study hour. Okay? Makikita naman po natin sa PowerPoint na gumawa tayo ng table. Ilalagay lang natin yung mga given data natin, which is yung 4, 6, 8, 5, 4, 10, 7, 6. And then, isa-sum natin. Ang nakuha natin sum is yung 50. Tapos, kukunin na natin yung mean. I-add lang natin yung mga given data. Tapos, i-subtract na natin siya sa 8. So, ang makukuha natin is 6.25. And the next step, we were going to subtract the mean and yung mga data. Yung first natin is yung 4. Subtract natin siya sa 6.25. Ang makukuha natin is 2.25. Kahit makuha mo yung negative answer, magiging positive pa rin siya. Yan. Ito yung table natin. Nagawa na natin siya sa 6, 8, 5, 4, 10, 7, 6. And then, kukunin na natin yung squared. Pagtapos natin makuha yung squared, hindi. And then, kukunin na natin yung squared. Ang total na makukuha natin is 5.0625. Ayan. Tapos, hanapin na natin yung sum nila. Yung sum na makukuha natin is yung 29.5. Tapos, gagamit na tayo ng formula for sample variance and sample standard deviation. For sample variance, kukunin lang natin yung sum ng nakuha nating earlier, which is yung 29.5. I-divide natin siya sa 8 minus 1. Ang makukuha natin is 4.214. And for sample standard deviation naman, i-square root lang natin yung 4.214 or yung nakuha natin sa sample variance. And then yung total is yung 2.05. Here is another sample. First, let's read the problem. A business student is comparing the volatility of a local blue chip stock like Jollibee and JFC, and the popular cryptocurrency or yung Bitcoin or BTC over a short period. They record the following statistics. For GFC stock, the mean price is 220 and yung standard deviation naman is yung 15. And sa BTC naman, which is yung Bitcoin, yung mean price niya is 1,500,000. And sa standard deviation naman, yung standard deviation niya is 75,000. Which asset is relatively more riskier? And yung first step natin, hahanapin lang natin yung mga given. Sa GFC stock, yung given mean niya is yung 220 and yung standard deviation niya is 15. Sa BTC naman or yung Bitcoin, yung mean price niya is 1,500,000 and yung standard deviation naman niya is 75,000. And here is the formula on how to find the coefficient of variations formula, where the CB is the coefficient of variance and the sigma is the standard deviation and the M is the mean. After that, gagawa tayo ng table. As you can see, nakagawa na tayong table. Yung GFC and BTC coin. First, lalagay natin yung mga given mean and standard deviation. And then, gagamitin na natin yung formula. For GFC stock, yung standard deviation, which is yung 15, ito times natin siya sa 100. And then, i-divide natin sa mean, which is yung 220. And makukuha natin is yung 2.82%. And sa BTC naman, yung standard deviation, which is yung 75,000, ita-times natin siya sa 100. And then, i-divide sa 1,500,000. And then, ang nakuha natin is 5%. As you can see sa table, that GFC stock has a higher CB, which is 6.82% than BTC na 5% lang. Therefore, GFC stock is relatively more riskier than Bitcoin. And this is the end of discussion. Thank you for listening and watching the video. Here is my reference. You can read and watch the video or articles that I put in here.